Welcome back to the backyard, guys. I'm Mike, and it's super awesome to have you join us today. I'm gonna get right to it. We're gonna do an awesome cook on the Masterbuilt Gravity Smoker. They have different size models. This is the 1050, it's the larger one. And what it does is it's a charcoal fired grill, but it's automatic. If you haven't yet seen me do any cooks with this grill, go back and check out some of the previous cooks. You're gonna absolutely fall in love with this thing, just like I have. And we're gonna do a very simple cook. We're going with and charcoal smoke on the Masterbuilt 1050. Let's get started. And just a quick overview of this guy. You have your control panel over here. It's very simple. You adjust the temperature to time, and you can do it on your phone or you can do it on the control panel. Nice big cooking surface on the 1050. Flip up tray. And then over here you have these two little pulls. And what that does is it'll let the air go from the firebox down here to the charcoal up here. Up top here is where we put our charcoal. And it looks like we're gonna need to add a little bit. And down here is where we start the fire and clean out the ashes. The ashes fall in this bucket to make it nice and easy. There's a little slot here that you can stick your fire starter in. You have to have some kind of good fire starter because you're starting to charcoal from scratch here. Now, it's not too hard to start, but you gotta have the right fire starter. Not every fire starter will get the job done here. All right, I've got her on, and I've got the temperature set at 250. Time, I just set to 7 hours because I don't really care when it goes off. I just don't want it to go off when I'm cooking. So I know I'm not gonna be cooking 7 hours, so at 7 hours will be fine. I'll just turn it off manually. And the fan comes right on as soon as the dead man switches are down, which is from all the doors that it has, and it'll start bringing it up to temp. Now, I wouldn't add charcoal right after you start your fire. Make sure it's established, or do it before, during the cook, but right when you're starting your fire, it's a little bit sensitive. You don't want it to go out. Just fill it to the top.
And we start all poultry cooks out the same way, and that's drying that skin off so we have the best chance possible at getting a nice crispy skin. Nobody likes a rubbery chicken skin. If you've never tried this rub, you're welcome. Go on their website, buy some right now, and like I said, you're welcome. Now we're going to use this little needle device, a jacquard, and what that's going to do is it's going to do two things. It's going to tenderize the meat, but it's also going to allow us to get a little bit of that rub flavor down into the meat. And we're going to start this cook at 250 degrees. And then here comes the magic ingredient. You're gonna go with a half bottle of apple cider vinegar mixed with a half bottle of dill pickle juice. You gotta be careful not to knock the rub off when you first get started, but make sure you use plenty of this spritz. And from here, it's just monitoring temps. I'm using my meter food thermometer, that way I can monitor both the ambient temperature inside the grill as well as the internal temperature inside the chicken. Once my chicken gets up to about 120 degrees, turning the temperature up so that we can again try to make sure we get a nice crispy skin. The fat under chicken skin doesn't really start rendering properly until about 340 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So this will allow us to render a lot of that fat and help make sure we get a nice crispy skin. We'll take this chicken up to 160 degrees. Take it out, cover it with foil, let it sit in the oven for about a half an hour with the oven off, and then we'll slice it up.
It smells amazing. It looks amazing. And I'll bet it's gonna taste amazing. Let's try this dark meat. I'm gonna try this leg. Just falling apart, juicy. Skins bite through. Oh, it's so good. But here's the real test. Some breast meat with the skin on. Now typically, if you have a skin on piece of breast meat, it's on the outer edge, which means it's typically going to be a little drier. Looking at it, I'm optimistic that's not the case because it looks delicious. Mmm. Really juicy. Skin had just a little bit of tug to it, but nothing serious. That's delicious. Oh yeah, that's amazing. I'm telling you, that's some good shit.